How do you mount a transducer on a boat? Imagine you're out on the water, eager to get the best fish-finding images, but your sonar readings are fuzzy or inconsistent. The secret often lies in how you mount your transducer. Mounting a transducer correctly is key to getting clear, accurate readings every time you go boating. First, you need to pick the right spot. For transom mount transducers, choose a flat part of the back of your boat called the transom. Make sure the transducer will stay fully submerged at all speeds, usually at least 3/8 of an inch below the waterline. It should be parallel to the waterline, not the hull's angled bottom, to get accurate sonar signals. Avoid areas where turbulence from the propeller or underwater hardware could cause interference. If your boat has a stepped hull, place the transducer just in front of the first step. For boats with a fin keel, position it 10 to 30 inches in front of the keel and within 4 inches of the center line. For hulls with more than 5 degrees of deadrise, use a fairing block to keep the transducer aligned parallel to the waterline. Before drilling, double-check that your chosen spot won't hit wiring or structural parts inside the hull. Hold the transducer bracket against the hull and trace around the slotted screw holes. Mark the center of each hole for pilot drilling, giving you some wiggle room for adjustments. Use stainless steel drill bits to make the pilot holes as they resist corrosion well. Secure the bracket to the hull with the screws provided. For transom mounts, insert the transducer's pivot posts into the bracket slots, push down until they click, then rotate downward until they snap into place. Close any covers on the bracket to protect the transducer. Next, route the cable. Drill a hole above the waterline big enough for the cable connector, then seal it with marine sealant to keep water out. Secure the cable along the hull with clamps or P-clips, avoiding moving parts like the outboard motor or ladders. If needed, adjust the transducer angle by loosening the screws and tilting it slightly to improve signal clarity. Make sure the flat underside of the transducer hangs just a few millimeters below the hull bottom so it stays in contact with the water. Use a straight edge or a level to check that the transducer is perfectly aligned side to side and parallel to the waterline. If your boat's transom isn't level, you can mark a level line from chine to chine with a string line for proper alignment. For through-hull or pole mounts, professional installation is recommended because it involves waterproofing and precise fitting. Proper placement keeps the transducer in constant contact with water and correctly oriented, which is vital for accurate depth and fish-finding readings. Following these steps helps prevent air bubbles, turbulence, and signal interference that can mess with your sonar images. When mounted correctly, your transducer will give you the clearest, most reliable readings every time you hit the water.